firstly, before I do this recording, I just need to read it through this with you both. This session and presentation is being recorded for assessment purposes for my course with Open Colleges. This recording will be live streamed through Open Colleges' online learning platform to the Open Colleges Learning Management System. These sessions may be used by Open Colleges for compliance purposes or within a course to demonstrate examples of best practice. This video may be available publicly, and this applies to the time the video is being streamed and after the recording. The video will be stored securely and will become property of the Open Colleges. If you do not wish to be recorded, you will need to leave the session now. Are you both happy to be recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, no problem.
Thank you very much for your signatures on the form, and I'll send those through with the assessment. Okay, so we'll now begin the process. Basically, we're going to interview a gentleman for a job position, so we'll start that now. Okay.
Yep.
Welcome, Paul. My name is Rebecca Forge, and I'm the recruitment specialist for Red Hat Books and the chair of this panel. I would also like to introduce Gail Judd, who is a member of the finance team and the other panel member. Please help yourself to a glass of water, and if you would like, it, and we can get started. And so before we begin, Paul, just to make you feel a bit more comfortable, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm 50. I was born in Melbourne. My parents migrated from Germany in the early 60s. I was a qualified carpenter for many years, but I found that as time got on, it was harder and harder to do that job with injuries. So I took a job in administration. I've been doing administration roles for the last 5 years, and I enjoy it and needed a challenge.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. And Paul, obviously, you know, your parents immigrating from Germany, do you speak German as well as English, or?
Yes,
You do?
we used to speak German at home. Now I can speak German. So.
Oh, okay, very good. It's always certainly very handy to be able to speak two languages. I've never
Yes.
been able to do it myself. I'm not good with languages, so you know, that's a very great skill. Okay, so firstly we'll start off with the questions. If you can just tell us a bit about yourself and what you perceive are your strengths and weaknesses, please.
Yeah, I've had 5 years experience in administration, and I'm looking for a new role with a new challenge. My strengths would be communication and computer skills. My weaknesses, I don't have any weaknesses. I'm very confident and endeavour to make everything I do a strength.
Well, you certainly are confident if that's the case. I'm really glad to hear that. Okay, can you tell us about your working knowledge in relation to the MS Office programs and your efficiencies in the use of these programs?
Yes, certainly. With 5 years in the administration areas, I've gained a strong understanding of Microsoft Office. I use several different spreadsheets, databases as part of my current position. I've been able to build spreadsheets, incorporate tables, pie charts as required. Very familiar with Outlook, and I've been able to produce briefs and draft letters using Microsoft Word and use mail merge as well.
Okay, so how do you cope with the changes, you know, from Microsoft 7 to Microsoft 8, you know, now we're now heading into Microsoft 10. How have you coped with those?
It takes a bit of getting used to, but you just keep persisting, and basically they're the same. They just add more to the background of the program. So it's not a huge change. I find it doesn't take much to pick it up.
Yeah, see, computer skills for me, it's one of those things. I'm not a technical person, but that's why I'm not in the IT area. Okay, describe how you would handle a situation if you had to finish multiple tasks by the end of a day and there was no conceivable way that you could get them done.
In my current role, that's often been a problem that's arisen. So I deal with it. I break it into priorities as follows: what's supposed to be done, what conflicts there are, how to decide, and then I decide on priorities and work towards the outcome.
That's great. Is there anything else you do?
As a result, I work harder to make sure I get everything done. First, I sort the tasks into easy and difficult, keeping in mind conflicts and the difficulty of the task. The lower priorities may consist of routine, simple tasks, which I push through quickly, and then I work on more complex ones.
Okay. So basically, you get everything done,
yes,
regardless at the end of the day. Okay. So you've started to break it down, but you have indicated that you managed to get everything completed. Through pushing the work through quickly, does that result in an increased error rate?
Yeah, there's the odd error, but we meet the deadlines, and that's a good thing.
Okay, well, that depends, doesn't it? If you have errors, then you've not succeeded in meeting the deadline, as you have to go back and revisit the work that you've already done. So, um, you know, is that not correct?
Yeah, not at all, because when you come back to it, then you get a new deadline.
Oh, okay then. Thank you. Well, let's move on to the next question. Um, have you ever been on a team where someone was not pulling their own weight? And if so, how did you handle it?
In my current position, we had a team member who was getting ready for retirement, and he was feeling very jaded with the company and the changes, and felt that he was no longer valued, and would only do what was he was allocated. He would not go above and beyond.
Okay.
This made it hard on the rest of the team, so I pulled him aside and asked him why he wasn't taking on any additional tasks over and above his daily duties.
Yeah.
He said that he'd been working for the company for 30 years and he had enough of the young whippersnappers with their fancy uni degrees coming in and thinking that he had no idea. Things had changed and he figured that they were going to treat him like that. He would act like it. I told him that he wasn't viewed that way, that his opinion was still important to the team, and that he could help me out on a brief that I was currently working on. He was able to provide a lot of help, and the result from feedback from management was very positive. As a result of the positive outcome, Arthur felt that he was once again part of the team, and he didn't feel the younger members were really perceiving him as a old doddering old fool about to walk off into the sunset. So he felt valued again.
And so he obviously started to join in a lot more and get
Yes.
involved in the work. That is a great result and it's a great story. You know, it's good to hear those sorts of stories as it certainly is. Okay. If selected for this position, can you describe the strategy that you would implement for your first 90 days in the job?
Okay, first of all, I'd associate myself with the positive team players. I'd avoid any negative people as I'm looking forward to a new opportunity to expand my skills. I'd find out what the expectations for the position are and adhere to them. Provide my supervisor where I am in relation to allocated tasks, so I would keep them informed, and they would know that I'm ready to work and achieve results. I would ask questions rather than guess, and if required, be prepared to come in early or work late if needed.
Yeah, okay. So you're obviously one of those people that doesn't think any question's a stupid question.
No, not at all.
No, well, I mean, that's good to hear because it's much better to ask the question than I'll think I know what I'm doing and
Yes.
go right ahead with it. Okay, what would you say are the qualities of a good team leader and of a bad team leader?
A good team leader has a sense of humour, shows honesty and commitment, and shows confidence in what he does. They also have to be a good communicator. A bad team leader does not have any vision, doesn't accept change, fails to communicate with the staff, is condescending, and blames the team for errors, fails to delegate and micromanages.
Yeah, well, micromanage is certainly a very tough one to deal with in any situation. When communicating with others, is there a one technique fits every audience sort of caper, or do things change?
No, not at all. Every audience is different. It's important to understand your audience where possible, to know your audience so you can target your delivery. For example, if it's senior management, you need to target your message to suit them, covering high level frameworks in relation to finance. Whereas if you're dealing with the staff, the regular staff, you approach it in a much more detailed manner with more basic information.
So you feel that where there's an opportunity to sort of, I guess, focus on the audience that you're going to be approaching, getting to know what sort of people are in there, you can certainly adapt your story accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly helps to know who you're speaking to.
Correct.
Okay. Can you explain what makes an effective team dynamic?
A team that works well together will have many similar characteristics and know each other well. They can understand the way each other works, so they can enjoy working together. The team will often have a combination of different personalities, including extrovert, introvert, analytical, or creative people. This allows the group to flow as they are comfortable within the team environment and the differences can add to the team dynamics, so you can bounce ideas off one another and work better together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose if you have a whole group of centre of attention type people, it's not really going to work too well, is it?
No,
No.
not at all.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of those. It's certainly a bit difficult.
Can be.
Okay. So if we were to ask your last supervisor to provide you additional training or exposure, what would he or she suggest that you needed help with?
I don't think she would suggest I need anything. I'm confident in all the tasks that the role requires. I fulfil the task very quickly and work fast to make sure that everything's completed on time.
That's confidence. That's certainly confidence speaking. Okay, great. What can you offer that other candidates can't?
I have a high work ethic and work well in a team environment. Plus, I work well as an individual. I've got experience in the field and I'm keen to undertake a new challenge and expand my knowledge. I'm willing to do what needs to be done to get the job done.
Oh, well that's great. Have you got any other questions you'd like to ask us?
No.
Okay, because that does end off the questions that we've
Yes.
got for you today. We will go over and review those and discuss the matter.
Yep.
And then be in touch with you and let you know how things go. We'll be approximately another 2 weeks before we do get back in touch with you. We do have a couple of other people to interview, but we do appreciate you giving us your time today, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.